Think about the last time you stayed at a really nice hotel. Maybe it was a 4-star place with fluffy towels and room service that didn't take forever. You probably felt pretty fancy, right? Now imagine taking that feeling and multiplying it by 1,000. That's what happens when you step into a so-called 7-star hotel. But wait, 7 stars? That's not even a real rating. The highest official rating is 5 stars. But some places are so ridiculously over the top that people had to invent new numbers just to describe them. So what does it really look like? Picture this, a massive sail-shaped tower rising from the middle of the ocean, covered in gold and filled with more luxury than you could spend in a lifetime. So how did Burj Al Arab become known as a 7-star hotel when that rating doesn't even exist? The story is actually pretty cool. Back in the late 1990s, a British travel writer visited the hotel during a press event. When he got back home and wrote his review, he was so completely blown away by everything he'd experienced that he said it deserved 7 stars, not just 5. The name stuck. Suddenly, everyone was calling it the world's first 7-star hotel, even though the hotel industry was like, that's not a thing. But the Burj Al Arab ran with it because honestly, it was brilliant marketing. How do you instantly tell people that your hotel is better than every other luxury hotel on earth? You give it a rating that doesn't exist anywhere else. The Burj Al Arab, which means Arabian Tower in Arabic, has been voted the world's best hotel multiple times. And once you see what's inside, you'll understand why they needed to invent extra stars just to describe it. So let's say you somehow saved up enough money. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars per night to book a room here. From the second you land at Dubai Airport, everything changes. First, they give you 2 options for getting to the hotel: a ride in one of their Rolls-Royce cars or a private helicopter that lands you directly on top of the building. Most people choose the car because the helicopter costs extra, and let's be honest, the car ride is already insane enough. A pure white Rolls-Royce Phantom pulls up. The chauffeur is wearing a perfect uniform and the car is so clean it looks like it was just built 5 minutes ago. As you drive across the bridge to the artificial island, you start to realize this isn't going to be like any hotel experience you've ever had. And from the moment you walk through the doors, you realize why it's called the only 7-star hotel in the world. The lobby goes up 180 meters. That's almost 60 stories tall. But it's not just tall, it's completely covered in the most expensive materials on Earth. The floors and walls are made from 258,000 square feet of statuario marble. This is the exact same marble that Michelangelo used to carve his famous statues like David. You're literally walking on the same stone that created some of the world's greatest art. But that's not even the crazy part. Over 22,000 square feet of the hotel's interior is covered in real 24-karat gold. Not gold-colored paint, not fake gold, but actual gold that was hammered into thin sheets and stuck on everything. The columns, the decorations, the elevator interiors, even the picture frames in your room have real gold on them. The whole place uses colors that are so bright and rich they almost hurt your eyes in the best possible way. Deep blues like the ocean, emerald greens like precious gems, and purples so dark they look like they're glowing. Every single decoration was handmade by master craftsmen who probably spent months on tiny details that most people won't even notice. Inside the rooms is where things get ridiculous. The Burj Al Arab doesn't have regular hotel rooms. Every single one of their 202 accommodations is a duplex suite, meaning it has 2 floors like a house or apartment. The smallest suite is 1,830 square feet, which is bigger than most people's entire homes. When you check in, they don't just give you a key card and point you toward an elevator. They assign you a personal butler, a professional who's been trained to basically read your mind and give you whatever you want before you even ask for it. This person will spend about 30 minutes just showing you around your suite because there's so much stuff to explain. The decorations in your room are inspired by Dubai's culture and history, with patterns and designs that look like ancient art but made with modern materials. Everything is custom made specifically for this hotel. The furniture costs more than most cars, And the fabrics used for curtains and pillows are the kind of materials that fashion designers fight over. If you really want to go all out and book a royal suite, prepare to have your mind completely blown. These things are 8,400 square feet and take up entire floors of the building. They're basically private mansions floating in the sky, complete with multiple bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, and libraries. Your butler will show you all the high-tech features in your suite, and some of them are so advanced they seem like something from a science fiction movie. In the royal suites, the beds can rotate electronically to face any direction you want. Just push a button and your bed slowly turns to face the window or the TV or whatever view you're in the mood for. Above the bed, there's a life-size mirror on the ceiling that's the exact same size as the mattress. The beds themselves are covered in Egyptian cotton sheets with thread counts so high that the numbers don't really mean anything anymore. They're just ridiculously soft. But here's my favorite detail. They give you a menu of 17 different types of pillows to choose from. Memory foam, down, firm, soft, cooling gel, hypoallergenic. They've literally thought of every possible way a human being might want to rest their head and created a pillow for it. The bathrooms are also designed to be works of art. Picture colorful tile mosaics that tell stories, massive hot tubs positioned right in the center of the room, and bathroom counters covered with Hermes toiletries and perfumes. The mirrors have frames made of real gold, and even the towel warmers look like they belong in a museum. Furthermore, the hotel has an award-winning spa on the 18th floor, where every treatment room has floor-to-ceiling windows looking out over the Persian Gulf. There are multiple swimming pools throughout the building, each one designed for a different experience. Some are indoors with glass ceilings that can open to the sky. Others are outdoor infinity pools that seem to blend into the ocean. There are pools just for women, pools just for kids, and here's where it gets really romantic. You can rent an entire pool area for just you and your partner for a moonlight swim. When you book this, the hotel staff will cover the pool area with floating candles and rose petals, serve you champagne and chocolate-covered strawberries, and basically turn the whole thing into the most romantic setting you've ever seen. It costs more than most people's monthly rent, but apparently some people think it's worth it. The hotel also has its own private beach on the other side of the bridge, with imported sand that's maintained to be the perfect color and texture. The staff there will bring you drinks, food, and basically anything else you want without you having to ask. Next on our tour is the dining experience. When it comes to dining, most fancy hotels have 2 or 3 restaurants. The Burj Al Arab has 6 restaurants and bars, each one designed to be an experience that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Breakfast happens on the ground floor, where you can choose to sit inside surrounded by golden decorations and artwork, or outside on terraces with views of Dubai's coastline. The breakfast buffet has food from every corner of the world, all prepared by chefs who trained at the world's best culinary schools. For lunch, you go to the 27th floor to a restaurant called Al Muntaha, which means the highest in Arabic. This place is suspended 200 meters above the ocean, so you feel like you're eating while floating in the sky. But the most famous restaurant is Al Mahara, which means oyster shell. To get to your table, you walk through a golden tunnel shaped like a seashell that feels like you're entering an underwater cave. When you get to the dining room, you're surrounded by a massive aquarium filled with tropical fish, rays, and small sharks swimming just a few feet from your table. The restaurant specializes in seafood, obviously, but here's the coolest part. If you want to propose to someone, they'll have a professional scuba diver go into the tank and hold up a sign with your proposal while surrounded by all the fish. It sounds weird, but apparently it's one of the most popular ways to get engaged in Dubai. The hotel also recently opened what many people consider the most expensive bar on earth, called Gold on 27. Everything in this bar is covered in real 24-karat gold. The bar top, the walls, the decorations, the bartenders create unique drinks that you literally cannot get anywhere else in the world, and they keep their recipes completely secret. The signature drink is called Element 79, and it's a grape-flavored cocktail with actual gold dust mixed in. In this bar, you're literally drinking gold while sitting in a room covered in gold. The drink costs hundreds of dollars, but hey, how often do you get to drink precious metal? Even though staying at the Burj Al Arab costs more than most people make in a month, it gives you the chance to experience a lifestyle that most of us can only imagine. For a few days, you get to live like the richest people in the world, with staff members who exist solely to make your life perfect, and amenities that most people have never even dreamed of. In a world where most hotels max out at 5 stars, the Burj Al Arab had to invent its own rating system just to describe what it offers. And honestly, after seeing what's inside, even 7 stars might not be enough. And with that, we've come to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this and would like to learn more from the definitive channel on all things luxury, like this video and subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next one.